Terrorist attacks in Kenya's capital and other towns have dealt the country's economy a big blow in the last few years. Kenyan officials, however, say the country is on the path of recovery. In part two of my interview with Henry Rotich, Kenya's Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury, he says things are looking up for East Africa's largest economy.
Our calculations indicate that we are likely to grow by about 5%. Our 5.8 is a forecast for this year.
Now, for any finance secretary, I think it's always critical to save money. For years, Kenyans bemoan the loss of billions through misappropriation, corruption, bad tendering, where we give the highest bidder rather than the lowest bidder. What are you doing right now to make sure that you can eliminate those loopholes?
That we have a new law, public financial management law. Before we've not had a law. The law spells out clearly how public money will be used. So we are implementing this law. We have just issued regulations to ensure that all spending agencies follow the regulations as opposed to following previous, circulars that were not adhered to. So at least now we have get a clear legal framework on that. We are also doing a lot to improve the procurement of goods. We're going to introduce a new procurement law to ensure that there is efficiency in the utilization of resources, and that should help reduce a lot of spending. But we believe going forward with the clear legal framework, we should deal with this challenge once and for all.
The Kenyan diaspora is very keen on investing back home, but there's always complaints about challenges back there. They feel like things haven't been streamlined. We want a registration of businesses, perhaps transactions when it comes especially to land and registration and all. What are you doing to ensure that you make it easier for someone here to bring money back home?
It's true that there have been some constraints in those areas that you have mentioned, and we actually over the last 2 years we've slipped back based on World Bank indicators that I've just released, which attest to clearly what you have said. We've now worked on a very comprehensive plan to implement very specific reforms in the areas that have been identified that has been a challenge in doing business, particularly in the land registry. We are also introducing a new law, company law and insolvency law, which will revolutionize how the registration of business will be. This law is already before Parliament. As you know, the Companies Act that we are operating in is very archaic, from 1940. I think it was 1948. So we need to update our laws first governing business.
But Kenya has had a beating since 2008 because of insecurity. Al-Shabaab and other terrorist groups are not making it any easier. So how can you possibly attract investors?
You already have noticed the actions the government has done of late in terms of dealing with the refugee challenges and immigration issues. We have also given police the necessary capacities in terms of the mobility. We are working on their welfare, including also the housing and all that. I think the actions that we are putting to modernize our security operators are going to deal with these problems once and for all, and we do expect, together with the actions we are doing on improving the business climate, should make Kenya a very attractive area to invest.
Well, that's Henry Rotich, Cabinet Secretary of the National Treasury of Kenya.